if one lives in a space that doesn't give a lot of sufficient natural light, how would you suggest they go around navigating that situation?
Um, Look, at a very simplistic level, if you look at your family album, if you look at the family album of, say, your grandparents' time or your parents' time, it is filled with photographs which have a very, very direct flash. Now, I know that photographically, a lot of people assume that the direct flash is too harsh and hence should be avoided. But at one level, there have been several photographers through the years who have made extremely interesting pictures with the direct flash. But beyond that, a direct flash also puts any photograph in a slightly in a zone that resembles the old family photos that we've all grown up with, you know. So again, I would say that if your uh, moment is compelling, if you've managed a certain equation with the person you're photographing and you're able to draw a certain expression or gesture out of them, then even something as simplistic as a direct flash can actually make your photographs look very good. If you look at Sorab Hura's second book, Look, It's Getting Sunny Outside, if I'm not wrong, a lot of the photographs in that use absolutely direct flash. Beyond that, look, the home is full of possibilities. Even if you do not live in one of those homes that gets a lot of natural light, there will always be certain pockets. There will be certain pockets, certain nooks, certain corners that get a fair amount of light. That's number one. Number two, whether it's in terms of candles, whether it's in terms of a cell phone torch, whether it's a cell phone torch that's kept behind a green bottle and thus casts light and reflections onto onto somebody. Uh, since you're at home, since the people you're photographing are not running away anywhere, you have all the time in the world to really experiment. And then, of course, beyond that, let's look at the kind of lighting that the artificial lighting that most homes in India tend to have. We either have the warm yellow tungsten bulbs, or you have tube lights. These two tend to be the most common kinds of lighting inside homes. Now, tube lights can cast slightly ugly shadows, especially because they're almost always at a height. So if you have time, then the simplest thing to do would be to move your parent around or your subject around, whoever you're photographing, at that one spot in the room where the shadows are relatively milder, using flash not to overpower the light but purely as fill flash. That's another option. Using the flash and bouncing it off a ceiling, that's a third option. Or again, uh, sure, tube lights do not look as warm and fuzzy as 6 p.m. sunlight. Sure, but then again, they have their own mood. They have their own shadow. Even the so-called mistake that happens when you photograph in tube light when the light is flickering, because half your photograph is filled with a color cast. All that can add to its own mood. You're not really photographing what an ideal home in a decor magazine looks like. You are photographing what your space looks like, and so it's okay. Yeah.